and cherish for richer or poorer? I do. Janet's voice was filled with a joyous certainty, a testament to her enduring love. May I have the ring, please? The minister asked. Jack, as the unofficial best man, handed Philip the ring, a small, shining symbol of commitment. Place this on the third finger of her left hand and repeat after me. With this ring, either wed. With this ring, either wed, Philip repeated, his voice thick with emotion, his hand trembling slightly as he placed the ring on Janet's finger. By the power vested in me by God and the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Philip leaned in, and their kiss was long and tender, a testament to their enduring love, a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. The small crowd erupted in applause and cheers, a collective outpouring of happiness. Oh, thanks, Philip said, pulling away, a little breathless, a wide grin on his face. Oh, Mrs. Keneal, still at the organ, wiped a tear from her eye, a sentimental sigh escaping her lips. Oh, Janet, I'm so happy. Congratulations. Vicky rushed forward, embracing Janet warmly, her own recent emotional turmoil momentarily forgotten in the joy of her friend's wedding. Oh, Janet, I'm sorry, I almost spoiled your wedding. Oh, no, Vicky, your coming here today was the best present I could have gotten. Janet hugged her back, her eyes shining, a profound gratitude in her voice. Larry, caught up in the emotional whirlwind, also approached Janet, a look of genuine awe on his face. Janet, Larry, what can I say? Wow. You know, that's the first time you ever kissed me. He looked genuinely surprised, a little dazed by the unexpected intimacy of the moment. And the last, Janet laughed, but her eyes were full of affection, a playful retort. I hope you two are very happy. You deserve it, Princess, Larry said, his voice sincere, a rare moment of genuine tenderness. Oh, thank you, Larry. All right, everybody's invited down to my place for Janet announced, her usual effervescence fully restored, her voice ringing with celebratory joy. Wait, Janet? Wait, what? Honey, Philip called out, a mischievous grin on his face. Haven't you forgotten something? What? Oh my! You're right. Oh, Janet's gonna throw the bridal bouquet. Let her rip, she squealed, grabbing the bouquet, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. She tossed it high into the air, a flurry of white and green. Vicky, standing near Jack, instinctively reached out, and to her surprise, the bouquet landed squarely in her hands, a cascade of petals falling around her. A collective cheer went up, a chorus of delighted gasps. Vicky looked at the flowers in her hands, then at Jack, a blush creeping up her cheeks. Jack's heart swelled. It felt like a sign, a cosmic wink, a promise of things to come. All right, let's go. Down to my apartment-o, Janet called out, leading the procession of happy guests, her voice filled with celebratory joy. Jack took Vicky's hand, his gaze intense, his heart overflowing with a mixture of relief and renewed hope. What do you know? God, I missed you so much these last few days. The words poured out, raw and heartfelt, a confession of the deep longing he had felt in her absence. Oh, I missed you, too, Vicky confessed, her eyes meeting his, a depth of emotion passing between them, a silent acknowledgement of their shared pain and the joy of their reconciliation. And I am never going to let you out of my sight again. He squeezed her hand, a fierce possessiveness in his tone, a promise he intended to keep. Please don't. Her voice was soft, a plea, a whisper of vulnerability. The moment felt charged, ripe with possibility. Jack knew, with a certainty that resonated deep in his soul, that this was it. This was his chance. He took a deep breath, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs, preparing for the most important question of his life. Chapter 4. The Unconventional Proposal. The air in the apartment, still humming with the afterglow of Janet and Philip's wedding, felt thick with anticipation, a nervous energy that crackled between Jack and Vicky. The bridal bouquet, clutched in Vicky's hand, felt heavy, a symbolic weight that pressed upon her. Jack's heart pounded a frantic rhythm against his ribs, a drumbeat leading to a pivotal moment. He knew, with a certainty that resonated deep in his soul, that this was it. This was his chance. Vicky, will you marry me? The words, though long considered, felt monumental as they left his lips, hanging in the air like fragile glass. He watched her face, searching for a sign, a confirmation of the love he felt. Vicky's eyes, which had just moments before been filled with such warmth, suddenly clouded. A shadow passed over her face, a flicker of fear, a familiar ghost from her past. The joy that had illuminated her expression vanished, replaced by a deep-seated anxiety. No, her voice was soft, barely a whisper, yet it struck Jack with the force of a physical blow. Jack blinked, stunned, his mind struggling to process her response. No, no, what do you mean? No, he couldn't comprehend it. After all they had just been through, the reconciliation, the shared emotions, the undeniable connection. It felt like a cruel twist of fate. I don't want to get married. Her voice was soft, but firm, an unyielding wall, a deeply ingrained conviction. Vicky, you just said that you wanted to be with me. His voice was tinged with desperation, a desperate plea for her to reconsider, to explain. I do, but I don't want to be married. I don't understand. If we're not married, how can we? He trailed off, the unspoken question hanging in the air, a reflection of his own traditional sensibilities. He envisioned a future, a home, a family, all within the sacred bounds of matrimony. We can live together, she offered, her gaze earnest, a hopeful alternative. Live together? The concept was foreign to him, a stark contrast to the traditional values he, despite his modern facade, held dear. It felt like an incomplete commitment, a half-measure. Yes. Jack paused, his mind reeling, trying to reconcile this idea with his ingrained beliefs, with the picture of a white wedding he had always, perhaps subconsciously, held for himself. Well, I guess he struggled to find the words, to articulate the discomfort he felt. What have you got against marriage? Her eyes, usually so bright, now held a deep sadness, a distant pain. It scares me. Why? Because I lived through my parents' marriage, and their divorce. I used to lie awake listening to them fight. Her voice was barely a whisper, filled with the ghosts of a painful past, a trauma that had shaped her perception of commitment. She remembered the hushed, angry whispers, the slammed doors, the chilling silence that followed the storm. Hey, lots of married people have fights, he tried to reassure her, to minimize her fear, to offer a different perspective. Not like theirs. I don't know which was worse, when they argued or when they didn't talk at all. I used to cry myself to sleep every night. The raw vulnerability in her voice pierced his heart, a vivid image of a frightened child alone in the dark. The silence, she recalled, was often more terrifying than the shouting, a void filled with unspoken resentment. Hey, come on. That was a long time ago. He reached for her hand, trying to offer comfort, to pull her back from the precipice of her memories. I still have nightmares about it. She looked at him, her eyes pleading for understanding, for him to grasp the depth of her emotional scars. Vicky, it won't be like that with us. We're in love. He took her hands, his touch warm and reassuring, trying to convey the strength of their bond, the difference of their love. So were my mother and father, until they got married. The words were a bitter truth, a testament to her deep-seated fear, a logical conclusion drawn from a painful experience. Marriage, to her, was a beautiful facade that often crumbled into ruin. Jack was at a loss for words. He wanted to argue, to convince her, but her pain was too real, too profound, too deeply ingrained. He saw the logic in her fear, even if his heart rebelled against it. I don't know what to say. Say that we can live together. She looked at him, her hope, fragile but present, offering a compromise, a path forward that honored her fears while still embracing their love. Vicky, I have a little trouble with that, he admitted, his own traditional leanings, asserting themselves, a deep-seated belief in the sanctity of marriage. It felt like a step backwards, a half-hearted commitment. Don't you see we'll be together because we want to, not because we have to? She tried to explain, her philosophy, a stark contrast to his, a belief in freedom of choice over societal expectation. It was a love freely given, not legally bound. I know, Vicky, but it's just me. I can't do that. He shook his head, the words difficult to utter, a confession of his own limitations, his own ingrained values. Why not do I have to spell it out for you? Her frustration was palpable, a crack in her composure. She felt like he wasn't truly understanding, or perhaps was choosing not to. Yes. Okay, I will. Okay, listen. There we are. Right. Living together. You, the both of us. Together. Well, doesn't that tell you anything? She gestured between them, exasperated, trying to simplify the complex emotions into a tangible reality. Not yet, Jack admitted,